Welcome to Crushgasm, the podcast dedicated to the highs and lows of crushes. From their first to their worst, we're going to cover them all with a cascade of character, including our guest today, a forever fangirl, me. Yes, I'm riding solo this week to talk about the top 30 moments as supposedly voted on by fans to mark 30 years of Backstreet Boys. Because if there was a foundation for my fangirl obsession, Barbie and cartoons built the base, but Backstreet Boys poured the concrete. So a little history for those unaware. Backstreet Boys have been a cornerstone of my fangirl ways since I was in elementary school. I remember seeing their video for As Long As You Love Me one night on MTV Live, a show that predates my beloved Total Request Live. That piqued my interest, and soon enough, Backstreet Boys were plastered all over my bedroom, from top to bottom, side to side. No inch of wall was safe. I had all the posters, almost every piece of merchandise imaginable. So when the 30-year anniversary started to roll around, I was like, will they play a show like they did? Will they have like a special event like they did for their 20th anniversary? And I was like, I kind of hope it's not that, because if it's in LA, there's no way I can afford to go, and I don't think I could skid to it, and I was really kind of sad about it. But time kept going on, nothing was announced. I was like, well, what the heck else could they do? And I was pleasantly surprised when they announced that fans were going to be able to vote for their top 30 moments from this like monstrous list that included some pretty amazing ones. And I'm kind of peeved that they didn't keep that initial list up, because now that the top 30 has been revealed, this questionable top 30, I'd love to be able to look back and see what did make the cut, because let me tell you, this top 30 is suspect. So let's just go by one, shall we? And, get to the reason why I don't think fans really voted, but you could share your opinions. First up, A Night Out with Backstreet Boys VHS. Of all the VHSs, this was probably my least favorite of the bunch, but I wasn't mad at the inclusion of any and all VHS memories because I have so many of my own. Then at 29, this is where things started to get weird for me, because I get not every single Backstreet Boy fan felt DNA was their worst album like I did. It's not I won't say worst, I'll say it's least favorite. It was just a little boring for me, and I didn't love it as much as I love the others, but Don't Go Breaking My Heart from there was 29. And for that to be right ahead of their larger-than-life residency at 28 was wild to me. That residency probably should have made their top 10, because what a moment for any artist of that caliber to be able to go to Vegas and sell out shows of what they did, like 4 week, 3-4 week. It's one of the best residencies Vegas has had to date. Plus, it allowed fans to head to one spot for a few years and see them. So at 28, a little questionable. I also thought number 27, the tour and album they did with New Kids on the Block, would have been a bit higher, seeing that it was this grand tour that paired the biggest boy band of the 80s, the kind of the boy band that set up modern boy bands, with the biggest boy band of the 90s and of all time. But just number 27, I'm good. Okay, so then at 26, another song from DNA, No Place. So at this point, I was like, are these votes legit? Because 2 DNA mentions so far, and at 25 was their first ever US tour. That was huge, a significant moment in their career, any group's career, to tour a whole country for the first time. And even if they were composing this list themselves, you'd think that they would have put this moment higher. Anyways, the most random moment for me to make this list is at number 24, and it's not because it's random that I'm mad about it. It's random because I'm kind of glad that if fans did vote for this, so many of us were like, hell yeah, their collab with Shania Twain on that random CBS special. That was a moment. I mean, do you remember watching that? It's so crazy. I was like, oh my god. So at number 23 and 22, both should have been higher, because it's when they got their start on the Walk of Fame and the Millennium Tour. And this is probably, I'm biased and bitter here, because I went to the star unveiling and drinked out alongside my fellow fans, and the Millennium Tour in Anaheim was my first concert ever. So yeah, I think, and plus the Millennium Tour was like their first wow arena tour. So I am shocked at it being only 22. As for 21, 20, and 19, we got a string of videos: Get Down, We've Got It Going On, and Drowning. With a 30-year career, they've have amassed a ton of videos. So really the whole list could have just been their music videos. So in that regard, I'm glad for the variety. As for what video out of these I love most, we've got it going on. AJ's rap. I mean, so good. And at number 18, we have the Show 'Em What You're Made Of documentary. If you've not seen this and are a fan, or even if you're not a fan, it's a great watch. And Nick Carter going off about him and Brian being like the Michael Jordan and whatnot of the group as well, it's something. Following that at 17 is their very Backstreet Christmas, which I'm shocked it took them years to get into the holiday music game, seeing as this is sort of like the one thing NSYNC will always have over them, because even I, diehard BSB fan, can't deny that NSYNC made the holidays their bitch with that holiday album of theirs. So once upon a time, Kevin took a little break from the group to focus his attention elsewhere, and number 16 is all about his grand return at the GMA Summer Series. But if you lived in LA, you probably saw him come back at the Palladium show, or when they were there with New Kids on the Block, because he didn't live too far, I think in Santa Clarita or something. So, but this was like his official return. But at 15 is when they decided to tour around the world in 100 hours to promote their Black and Blue album. AJ had that blue cockatoo hair going on, and just based on how insane that was, I'd say that was way more a top 10 moment of their career. But we'll see how easy it is for me to actually make my own top 10 when I break these down later this week. So 14 and 13 gave way to two more videos, my favorite, All I Have to Give, and Incomplete. And then at 12, our third mention of DNA, this time the album as a whole. Questionable, followed by my pee break song at all of their concerts, the video for Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely at number 11. I'm sorry, great song concept, but for me, it's time to go to the bathroom when that is on. So now we've reached the top 10 Backstreet Boys moments as voted by their fans, supposedly. And at number 10, we have the Shape of My Heart music video, which I love the song. I think live, this is one of my favorites that they do. As for the video, I'm not even sure it would make my top 10 of their videos, because the blue tint, the hair, like Nick's hair, Howie's hair, very questionable to me, but I really do love the song, so I'm not like mad at it being number 10, and it came from the album that's number 9, Black and Blue. But I do think touring the world in 100 hours to promote an album, way more momentous than the album as a whole, but that's just how the votes apparently stacked out. 8 and 7, two more videos, Larger Than Life and Quit Playing Games With My Heart. I think the moment I associate with Larger Than Life is more interesting though than the video, because when they were shooting the video, TRL, Carson Daly, they were like, you know what, let's send a band down to Florida to the set, and we're going to give them a camera and let them report back. Great idea. But not a so great idea to send someone down there when there was like a hurricane going on. The girl, safe and sound, didn't die. But if you were going to die during that time, why not let it be by a Backstreet Boy during a hurricane? I mean, what fangirl wouldn't want to go out that way? Anyways, I'm sure that's a story she still tells to this day, and I would love to hear it from her. So if she happens to hear this somehow, hit me up. As for Quit Playing Games With My Heart, the video, the rain, it's responsible for the sudden puberty boom of the late 90s. Watch the video, you'll understand. And we got a quick video break at number 6 for the album Backstreet Boys, which not shocking, and neither was As Long As You Love Me at number 5. The chair dance is one of their most iconic choreography moments in their career. Shout out Miss Tima Robinson for that. And then at number 4, I was a little upset at this. I'm saying I'm upset, but it's still at number 4. It's in the top 5, top 10. It's the video for I Want It That Way. I'm just saying that because when I think of boy band history, boy band songs, I Want It That Way kind of is the top. It sits on the pedestal. It's this love song, I guess, but kind of makes no sense. The video harkens back to the Beatles getting off the plane and all the fans. And for me, it is their song. It is the Backstreet Boys song that will follow them until the end of their days. So I'm a little shocked. Only number 4. And number 3, though, I think the choreography of Everybody Backstreet's Back got it this high, because if you were alive during that time, you definitely know the hand thing, side to side. And if you don't know, here she am. So with only 2 spots left, I was like, their Millennium album, surely that's number 1. It was the first album to sell 1 million copies in a week. It was the album that took them from being like just another 90s boy band to this like global phenomenon. And I think it really is the album that cemented them to be the greatest boy band of all time. And when they showed up at TRL to promote it that day, the NYPD ordered MTV to close the blinds because of the utter chaos they were causing in Times Square by just being up there. But nope, not at all. Just at number 2 is the album that did all of that and then some. And at number 1, DNA. DNA. So that's 4 mentions of DNA on this list. And when it was all said and done, I was just left scratching my head like, who, what, when, where, why? When did they did the reveal? And again, this last one came out and it came out with this like promise of announcement and DNA was number 1. I was like, obviously it's going to be a DNA World Tour Part 2. Why would they go so hard with the DNA stuff? What is this? However, it was just like a cruise or something. But, I don't think it's a bad album. I just think when you talk about the best boy band of all time and this 30-year career and all the TRL moments, where was the All Access VHS? Like so many things that made them like, wow, when they were on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I would put above the DNA album. But anyway, it's not how the cookie crumbled, not how the votes stacked up, supposedly. And I'm going to go through this list and concoct my own top 10. And again, you'll see that this week on crushgasmpodcast.com. And that's where you'll also find my personal favorite BSB moment. Will it be from this list? Will it not? Again, go to crushgasmpodcast.com for all of that and more, like every episode we've had up until this point, my crushes, and a plethora of top 10. So if you are a Total Request Live junkie from back in the day, you'll love that. But that's it for now, though. I do want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to me go on and on about these 30 moments from the Backstreet Boys career that I just found a little questionable. But they'll always be my boy band crush, the foundation of my fangirl ways. And everyone, you can find all of Crushgasm's information below. And until next time, as always, keep crushing it.